our training philosophy at All for Sports and Fitness, where I work now and work with athletes, and even we work with general population too, it's a traditional health club, is that we focus first and foremost on movement. If someone can't move correctly, they do not graduate into what they need to do in the weight room. Whether that be strength, whether that be conditioning, whether it be speed, power, whatever it is we want to work on, first and foremost, movement. And I'm sure you guys have had experience in the weight room. I'm sure you've worked on plyometric drills and power, and I'm sure everyone in here is conditioned. But how many of you have worked on movement patterns? Anybody? One guy. Okay, maybe he's a phys ed major and he took kinesiology, right? Because a lot of what we learned, and I wish I focused more in my classes when I was here, because I could have learned a lot of the things. I got out of school and had to go back and spend a lot of money going to mentorship programs and different clinics and things to try to learn back everything that I really did learn here. It was easy for me because it was kind of familiar, but at the same time, I don't think I focused. I wasn't connecting the dots of what kinesiology is about and movement and biomechanics and connecting that to strength and speed and skill, right? So everybody, when you guys first started playing your sport when you were a little kid, say you played softball or baseball or lacrosse, whatever it was, the first thing you did was you didn't get out on the field and learn how to run and learn how to move, right? Everybody got out on the field and you started to throw the ball around. You start to play and work on skill. And I don't think that as a kid, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's the part of it is we want to make it fun. For kids, especially we do a kids weight loss program, the whole idea is not that they're going to lose weight. It's so that they have fun, so they have a positive association with exercise. It's more of a long-term view. And it's important for kids to play. But at the same time, no one does that. You basically go through your whole career working on your skill, and then when you get to the college level, or even with some sports, the high school level, you're going to start to lift more aggressively and condition more aggressively. Your body's not really prepared to do that, because over time, whether it be old injuries, movement imbalances just from day-to-day life and habits that you have, the big culprit for me is sitting down. Okay, we sit, I mean, think about it, we sit most of the day, right? You're sitting down right now, you sit down in class, you sit at home when you watch TV. My biggest thing with our general population in the gym is the last thing you need to do here is sit down on a machine when you come to the gym. We still have the machines. I'm gradually trying to get them out of the gym, but it's one of those things. People want to walk in and work, they sit down in a chair and then they're going to press weight, where you're not utilizing the way the body works to train it. So, who is trained in a high school program where you used selectorized seated machines to train? And who does still now? I mean, everybody in this room probably has trained on selectorized machines before. But for me, it's about movement first and foremost. If you can clean up movement patterns and get the body moving efficiently, then you'll be able to train it without causing more problems. Okay? A lot of times people come in, I like to equate it to a limp, right? If you have injured your knee and you limp for, say, a period of 8 months, right, because of a surgery or even just the injury itself, your body is going to create a movement pattern around that limp, and it becomes a habit, right? So from the habit of sitting a lot, we tend to get tight hip flexors. We get weak glutes. Our hamstrings do a little bit more work than they should. They get a little bit tighter. You start to create imbalances, and just about every person that comes to the gym that's over the age of 40 has low back pain. So I know that people are sitting down way too much, more than they should. And even if you're the most active person in the world, you could work out every day, you're still not moving on your feet as much as we're designed to. So what we try to get people to do is, in their warm-up, have a few corrective exercises around their specific imbalances that can help to not only warm them up, but because, you know, if we just want to do a warm-up, we might as well just go walk on the treadmill or ride a bike. For me, our warm-up is about rehearsing movement patterns to clean up all that, let's say, we'll call it a limp, right? Clean up that limp before we add strength, power, and conditioning on top of that. Because if you're adding strength, power, and conditioning on top of that, you're only setting yourself up to do more harm, right? So that's a really huge thing for me, and that's our foundation. We want to lay a good foundation of movement before we do any kind of strength training, power training, or conditioning.